I bought my first house at 26. Not a mansion, not some real estate flex with marble countertops and 7 bathrooms. Just a solid 3-bedroom with a squeaky porch swing, a creaky stair, and enough space to finally breathe without hearing someone else complain about the thermostat. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a gift. It was 100 side jobs, one used Honda with 230,000 miles, and the kind of budgeting that made ramen noodles feel like a luxury meal. I'd been saving since I was 17, ever since my parents told me, "You're gonna have to figure things out on your own. We've got your sister to think about." Classic. Emily, my older sister by 2 years, was the kind of golden child who practically glittered. Straight A student. Cheer captain. Allergic to effort but somehow always working on something big. That big thing had so far included a failed Etsy jewelry line, an online yoga program with 0 clients, and most recently an auto lifestyle influencer gig. Which, near as I could tell, meant she posted mirror selfies in dealership bathrooms and called it marketing. But none of that mattered to my parents. They were hooked. Everything she did was ambitious, brave, visionary. Every job I took was just temporary manual labor. Or my favorite, fine for now. So yeah? When I bought the house, I kept it quiet for a few weeks. Not because I wanted it to be a secret, but because I didn't want the congratulations to feel like backhanded compliments dipped in guilt. But eventually I caved. I sent out a simple group message to the family chat. "Hey everyone, housewarming this Saturday, 5 p.m. Nothing fancy, just drinks, burgers, and finally a place with my name on the lease. Would love to see you all." I even included the address, a cheesy thumbs up emoji, and a photo of the welcome mat I'd just bought. It said, "Wipe your paws," with a cartoon dog on it. I thought it was clever. No one replied for 6 hours. Then my mom finally sent, "Oh honey, Emily might be doing a thing that day, but we'll see." A thing? What thing? So I texted Emily directly. "Hey, you making it to the housewarming?" Her reply came almost instantly. "Ugh, I totally would, but I'm doing a test drive that day. Woozy face, it's kind of a big content op. Sorry. We'll hang soon though, 2 hearts. A test drive. My sister was skipping the first major milestone of my life for a test drive. I stared at her message for a solid minute, trying to convince myself I'd misunderstood. Maybe it was a job interview. A sponsorship deal? Maybe the test drive was code for something deeper like mental health retreat or training course. But no. When I checked her Instagram later, she'd posted a countdown timer. Big day coming. New car vibes. New content. Let's go. And the caption? Manifesting horsepower plus haters #Virum vibes only. That evening, my dad followed up with a quick, "We'll swing by next time. Congrats, kiddo." Not even a promise, just a vague drive-by offer like I was some roadside attraction. I spent the rest of the week cooking, cleaning, and mowing every inch of the lawn twice. I hung up string lights on the back patio. Bought 3 folding tables, iced 10 sodas, and splurged on one of those charcuterie boards with labels for Brie and not Brie. I even bought champagne. Not the cheap stuff either, the kind with a cork that actually pops. At 4:45 p.m. that Saturday, I put on my best button-up shirt, lit a citronella candle, and sat on the porch, waiting to hear tires on the gravel driveway. By 5:30, the candle had burned halfway down, and the cheese had started sweating. By 6:15, I'd accepted the truth. They weren't coming. Not because of a flat tire. Not because of an emergency. But because my sister had an opportunity. And I wasn't one. I thought about calling someone else, a few coworkers, maybe my friend Joe from the old warehouse job, but it felt too late. Like throwing out a last minute, "You up?" to people who already knew they weren't plan A. So I went inside, grabbed the champagne, popped the cork, it hit the ceiling like it was trying to escape the tension, and poured myself a glass. Then I toasted to no one. "Here's to owning a house," I muttered. And sitting in it alone. Bruno, the neighbor's scruffy dog who always wandered into my yard like he paid rent, barked once from outside. That was the only applause I got. The sun went down. The lights on the back patio stayed on. And I just sat there, staring at the glow bouncing off the sliding glass door, thinking, this should have felt different. By 11:45, the ice had melted in the cooler, and I was debating whether to pack up the chairs when my phone buzzed once on the kitchen counter. Just once. No name. Just a number. And then nothing. I didn't sleep that night. Not right away. After the last citronella candle burned out, I wandered back inside my empty house. This time it didn't feel peaceful. It felt hollow. Like a stage set waiting for actors that never showed up. The cooler water had gone lukewarm. The burgers I made sat untouched in a foil tray, mocking me with their ungrilled potential. I opened the fridge, grabbed a slice of cheesecake I'd bought for dessert with family, and ate it with a fork still in the plastic wrap. It tasted like silence. Eventually, I flopped on the couch, still wearing the shirt I'd ironed that morning like someone was going to notice. My phone buzzed with a few Instagram notifications. One from Emily. Can't wait to show you guys the car. Smiling face with heart eyes. Test drive went insane. A boomerang clip of her standing next to a red convertible, throwing peace signs with the caption, Virum vibes only sparkles # manifest mode # test drive queen. Another story from my mom, reposting Emily's reel with, so proud of our girl chasing dreams 2 hearts. And not a single mention of the son who just bought his first home. Cool. Really cool. I posted a photo too, the patio at sunset, fairy lights on, my feet kicked up with a glass of champagne in hand. Caption. First night in my new place. Grateful. It got 5 likes. One was from Joe, one from a real estate agent who'd cold emailed me 6 months ago, and one from my neighbor's dog's account. Yes, Bruno had an Instagram. No, I didn't know who ran it. I shut my phone off for a while. Sat in the quiet. Tried to convince myself I was fine. Because honestly, what was I expecting? Streamers? Confetti? A marching band playing, "We're proud of you, kid," on the front lawn? It's not like this was the first time they'd let me down. Just the first time it really stung in my own house. At 11:45, I turned my phone back on. Not because I wanted to check anything, but because the silence was louder than any notification ever could be. That's when the first call came. 11:56 p.m., one buzz. Dad? I stared at it like it was a hallucination. 11:57 p.m., again. Same name. Same ringtone I hadn't heard in months. 11:58 p.m., third time. Okay, now I was listening. 11:59 p.m., 4, 5, 6, and 7. Back to back. Like his thumb got stuck or his conscience finally woke up. Then, right at midnight, 8th call. One more ring. And then silence. I just stared at the call log, half convinced I was dreaming. I hadn't heard from them all week, not even a "We're sorry we missed it" text. Now I was suddenly the hottest line in town. My first thought was, Emily crashed the car. Second, Dad needs money. Third, maybe he's finally figured out how to use Siri and now it's stuck in a loop. I didn't answer. I just waited. Then, the voicemail notification popped up. I hesitated for a full 30 seconds before tapping play. His voice came through low, gruff, tight with something between anger and panic. Hey. It's bad. Call me back. We have a problem. That was it. 5 words. We have a problem. Not, we miss you. Not, I'm proud of you. Not even, are you okay? Just a problem. Like I was suddenly the family ID guy, plumber, and emotional hostage rolled into one, back on call after being ghosted for weeks. I set the phone down. Didn't hit play again. Didn't call back. I just stared at the ceiling and whispered to no one. Of course you do. I didn't sleep. Again. You'd think I would have called back, maybe even just to see if someone was in the hospital or being held hostage by a rogue tow truck. But no. I brushed my teeth like normal, crawled into bed, and stared at the ceiling until the early light of Sunday crept through the blinds. By 7 a.m., my phone had gone quiet. Dead quiet. Like after a storm, when the air smells weird and nobody's sure whether it's safe to come out yet. No missed calls. No texts. Not even a pity heart emoji from my mom. Just that voicemail. 5 words. We have a problem. Eventually, curiosity beat out pride. I called back. He picked up on the first ring, like he'd been sitting by the phone, waiting for the exact second I'd cave. Finally, he barked. What took you so long? Sleep, I lied. What's going on? There was a long, heavy pause. I could hear him exhale like he was trying to light a cigarette but couldn't find the lighter. It's your sister, he finally said. Of course it was. What happened? Did she crash the car into a dealership? Did she run over an Instagram model? No, he snapped. It's more complicated. I could hear my mom's voice faintly in the background, the kind of whisper shouting people do when they don't want to be heard but also definitely want to be heard. She needs help, Dad said. You need to come over. Come over? I repeated. I hosted a whole housewarming party yesterday. Remember that? You were all busy doing donuts in a parking lot. This is serious, he said. It's about your name. That stopped me cold. My name? Another pause. Look, he said, lowering his voice. The new house Emily's moving into, there was some confusion with the paperwork. Something got mixed up. The mortgage company called this morning. Apparently they have you listed as the primary co-signer. I blinked. Wait. Excuse me? You're on the documents, he said quickly, like if he said it fast enough, I wouldn't get mad. Just for the mortgage part. The mortgage part? Dad, that's the whole part. It was just easier this way, he said, suddenly defensive. You've got better credit. Stable income. You know Emily's been between gigs. She's been between personalities. She's family. So you forged my name? There was a pause long enough for me to hear my blood pressure rising. No one forged anything, he said. We just applied on your behalf. It's not like you're gonna miss the money. And it helped get her the approval. It was for a good reason. I didn't even know what to say. I sat on the edge of my brand new bed in my brand new house, staring at the champagne cork still lodged in the ceiling, and wondered how many legal statutes had just been violated in a single favor. You used my information, I said slowly, without asking. We figured you'd be okay with it. Well, I'm not. There was silence on the other end. Then my mom's voice again, clearer this time. Tell him to stop being dramatic. I nearly dropped the phone. So let me get this straight, I said, keeping my voice calm even though I wanted to scream. You all missed my housewarming because of a test drive, and now you're calling because the house Emily's moving into has a mortgage under my name? It's not like we thought it would matter, he said. You're not even using your credit for anything right now. That line nearly made me black out. I bought a house last month, I growled. There was a beat. Oh. Yeah. Oh. He coughed. Well, maybe you can talk to the loan office? Explain it was a favor. I think they're panicking because someone flagged something. Yeah, I said. That someone was me. Silence. You already know? I froze the loan this morning, I said flatly. Before I even called you back. Why would you? Because I checked my accounts, I snapped. Because I earned this life. And you all thought you could just slap my name on your mess and I'd smile and carry it. Another pause. You're making this into a bigger deal than it has to be. I laughed once, sharp, bitter, empty. Well, I said. Tell that to Emily. It took her until noon to call. Which honestly shocked me. I figured Emily would FaceTime me from the driver's seat of a car she couldn't afford, with sunglasses the size of dinner plates, and that fake influencer voice. OMG, this is so chaotic. But instead, she sent a text first. Hey, can we talk? This is spiraling LOL. LOL. Not. Sorry. Not, let's clear this up. Just LOL? I didn't reply. She called 2 minutes later. I answered on speaker and set the phone down on my counter while I sliced a bagel. I figured if I had to listen to her nonsense, I might as well get breakfast out of it. Hey, she started, drawing out the word like we were catching up after brunch. I didn't say anything. She sighed like I was the exhausting one. Look, I didn't even know about the mortgage stuff, okay? Mom and Dad handled it. They said it was just a cosigner thing. You weren't supposed to be, involved. I paused mid-slice. Emily. It's a $470,000 loan. Under my name. Okay, but no one's asking you to pay it. Oh good, I said flatly. So when the bank comes knocking, I'll just hand them your Instagram handle and say, don't worry, she's manifesting rent this month. She groaned. Why are you being so dramatic? I actually laughed. Dramatic? You stole my identity to buy a house and skipped mine to celebrate yours. Forgive me if I'm not throwing confetti. You weren't even using your credit. She fired back. And you always make everything about you. That's why no one tells you stuff. No, I corrected. No one tells me stuff because they know I'll say no. So they go behind my back and assume I'll clean it up anyway. She went quiet. I heard a car door shut on her end. Great, she was on the move. Probably heading to a meeting about monetizing car seatbelt click sounds or something. Can you just help fix it? She asked finally. I already put down a deposit, and I need this house. My content's been popping lately, and this would be perfect for my brand. There it was. Not. I'm sorry. Not. You're right. Just. This would be perfect for my brand. I sat down, calmly took a bite of the bagel, and chewed for a long time. Then, no. She went full silent. Wait, what do you mean no? I mean I'm not fixing it. I froze the application, locked my credit, and flagged the account. If that causes delays or nukes the deal, that's on you. Her voice shifted. The influencer tone dropped. The real Emily, the one who used to make fun of my hand-me-down shirts while asking to borrow money, finally peeked through. You're serious? As a mortgage fraud charge, I said. Look it up. You might need it for your next TikTok. You can't do this to me. Oh, I didn't, I said. You did this to me. I'm just responding. You're ruining my life. No, I said again. I'm protecting mine. Click. I ended the call. I stood there for a second, heart pounding, not from fear, but from the kind of adrenaline you only get when you finally say what you should have said years ago. Then I opened my laptop, logged into my bank, and checked everything again. Frozen. Secured. Locked. Just like my boundaries. The next knock wasn't on my door. It was on my inbox. A realtor. Hi, we've had trouble reaching the primary borrower on file. Emily mentioned this may be a mix-up. Can we confirm identity? Oh yes. We could. I waited an hour before replying to the realtor. Not out of pettiness. Well, okay, 60% pettiness, but mostly to make them sweat. They clearly weren't used to people outside the Golden Child fan club making decisions. My reply was simple. I am not involved in this loan and did not authorize my information to be used. Cease all further processing or I'll be contacting a lawyer. They responded in less than 5 minutes. Understood. We're deeply sorry. Please let us know if you'd be willing to discuss a possible correction or resubmission. Ah, yes. The classic. Please help us undo the thing we did without your consent. I ignored it. By lunch, Dad was calling again. I let the first few ring out, mostly because I was eating a microwave burrito and didn't feel like choking on sarcasm mid-bite. Eventually, I picked up. Hey, he said quickly, like he'd rehearsed it in the mirror. So listen, I know things got a little out of hand. You mean when you committed fraud using your son's name? He paused, clearly annoyed I wasn't playing dumb. It wasn't fraud. It was just helping family. And you weren't supposed to find out. Oh, well, that makes it legal. I deadpanned. Should we all just start opening credit cards for each other now? I'll grab Emily's social and finance a boat. You don't need to be a smartass. I'm not. I'm being accurately bitter. There's a difference. He sighed so hard I could practically see the vein in his forehead pulsing. Look, you made your point. You froze the loan, okay. Can we just make this go away now? Emily's got sponsors waiting. She posted about moving in already. There's pressure. I leaned back and smiled. There's pressure? You know what I mean. Oh, I do, I said. There's pressure, because you told lies and built a house of cards on top of my name. And now it's falling. It wasn't malicious, he said. We just figured you'd help. You're the stable one. The responsible one. And the one who gets ignored until you need something. I added. Let's not forget that part. He didn't respond. I decided to twist the knife a little. Do you even remember what you were doing last night at 6 p.m.? He hesitated. Probably eating? You were reposting Emily's video of her test drive while I sat alone in my backyard with 18 uneaten burgers and a bottle of champagne. That's what you were doing. Silence. You're blowing this up, he said, his voice now hardening. This could mess up your relationship with your sister forever. Oh no, I said dryly. Whatever will I do without someone who uses my identity without asking? He went quiet again. I could hear something in the background, the distant sound of Emily's voice, high-pitched and frantic. Something about brand deals, contracts, moving trucks, timelines. The empire was crumbling. And I didn't feel bad. Not even a little. She just needs help, Dad said quietly. You always find a way to land on your feet. She doesn't. Not my fault, I said. Maybe if you let her fall once in a while, she'd learn how. Then I hung up. No yelling. No threats. Just a clean break. That afternoon, Emily posted another story, this one noticeably less filtered. Her hair wasn't curled. Her tone wasn't bubbly. It was just her, sitting in the front seat of the convertible, looking lost. So, small delay in house stuff. People be tripping. Life's wild. Anyway, catch me on live tonight for updates LOL. And right below it, a message request from a realtor assistant. Would love to resolve this privately. Are you open to negotiation? I clicked ignore. Then I took the rest of the day off work, sat in my backyard, and grilled every last burger I'd bought for the housewarming. Bruno sat beside me, tail wagging, clearly approving. At least someone showed up. I should have known she wouldn't stay quiet. By the next morning, my phone buzzed with a notification from Joe. Yo, did you see Emily's post? I hadn't. I wasn't following her anymore. Hadn't been since she unfollowed me 2 years ago for messing up the aesthetic, with photos of work booths and drywall. But curiosity got the better of me. I opened my browser. There it was, a dramatic, black and white Instagram reel set to emotional piano music. Emily's sitting cross-legged on the floor of an empty living room, looking down like she just lost a pet turtle. Caption. Sometimes, family lets you down in ways you never imagined. I trusted someone I loved, and now my dream home might slip away. I'll be going live at 8 p.m. to talk about what really happened. Please be kind. Broken heart. The comments were already filling up. You don't deserve this. Who would do that to their own sister? You're so strong, Queen Crown. Let us drag him. Drag me? Oh, they had no idea. I didn't even have to respond, because karma did it for me. By noon, someone, I still don't know who, posted a screenshot in her comments. It was a snippet from a real estate listing, showing the mortgage pre-approval info with a very familiar name listed first. My name. Then another comment popped up underneath it. Wait, why is her brother on the mortgage if she's paying for the house? And that's when it all unraveled. People started asking questions. Screenshots surfaced of her bragging about the new house. Someone found the original post where she said she was manifesting approval vibes. And someone else? They found my housewarming post. Why'd her family skip this? Same night she was test driving? That's cold. I didn't say a word. I just watched. By 4 p.m., her comments were disabled. By 5 p.m., she deleted the reel entirely. And by 6 p.m., Dad was calling again. This time, I answered with Bluetooth while driving to the hardware store. "What now?" I said. "You need to call her," he said. "She's devastated. She says people are turning on her, calling her a liar." "She is a liar," I replied. "She just didn't expect receipts. She's your sister. She's a grown adult who stole my name for a loan and turned the internet against me." "I'm good, thanks," he groaned. "You're being impossible." "No," I said. "I'm being calm. You should try it sometime." He tried the guilt route again. The "we're family" speech. The "can't we all move on" nonsense. But I wasn't listening. I was already at checkout, buying a brass nameplate for the mailbox I'd been meaning to install. As I signed the receipt, a thought hit me. Not petty. Not spiteful. Just perfect. I walked outside, sat in my truck, and pulled out my phone. Opened Notes. Started typing. "Hey folks, I usually don't share family drama online, but since someone decided to twist the story, here's what actually happened." I listed the facts calm, clear, direct. No name-calling. No rants. Just screenshots of the mortgage email, the realtor messages, and the voicemail transcription that started it all. "We have a problem." Then I ended with one sentence. Imagine skipping your brother's housewarming, only to end up needing the house he bought to fix your mistake. I didn't post it. Yet. But I saved it. Because something told me the story wasn't over. I didn't think she'd actually show up. But then again, Emily had a gift, a sixth sense for when the world stopped spinning in her direction. It was late afternoon when I heard the knock. Not a polite, "I come in peace" knock. Not the sad double tap of someone unsure if they're welcome. This was an angry, impatient knock, 4 sharp thuds like she was trying to break the door with her acrylics. I opened it slowly. There she was. Designer sunglasses, oversized hoodie that probably cost more than my lawnmower, and an expression like I had just keyed her car. "You didn't answer my messages," she snapped. "You mean the one that just said wow? Or the one with the eye roll emoji?" She pushed past me without asking, like it was still 2007 and I had to share my snacks. "You don't get to ruin my life and then ignore me," she said, tossing her bag on my couch like she lived here. "I didn't ruin anything," I said. "I just stopped letting you take whatever you want." "Oh, spare me," she scoffed. "You always act like the victim. Like the whole world owes you for having a hard time growing up." I stared at her. "You used my name to secure a $500,000 loan," I said. "Then tried to spin the story on social media like I abandoned you." "Because you did," she exploded. "You froze the loan and now everything's falling apart. The deal's collapsing, the realtor's ghosting, and I have nowhere to go." "You had a housewarming to go to," I said calmly. "You skipped it." She blinked. "And now you show up here because what, you need a place to stay?" She crossed her arms. "I need you to unfreeze the mortgage." I didn't say anything. I already promised sponsors I'd be doing my home journey series. The whole thing was supposed to start next week. If this falls through, I lose deals. I lose followers. "You don't get it." "You're right," I said. "I don't get it. Because I've never had the luxury of lying to people for money." She stepped forward, lowering her voice. "You owe me." That made me laugh, a short, hollow sound. "I owe you?" I repeated. "For what?" "For being family. For always being there. I didn't ask to be the favorite, okay? I didn't choose any of this. But it's not like you've been perfect either." "Yeah," I said. "I've been too quiet." She went still. "I've been the guy who fixed your car, covered your bounce Venmo charges, and answered midnight calls when your networking event went sideways. I've been the spare key, the secret ATM, the free therapist." Then I walked over to the kitchen counter, grabbed my phone, and opened the Notes app. The one with the post I'd written the day before. Her eyes narrowed. "What's that?" I turned the screen toward her. Let her read the first few lines. She went pale. You wouldn't. I would, I said. But I haven't. Because I'm giving you a choice. She swallowed. You can leave right now. No more lies, no more fake crying, no more guilt trips. Or. I tapped the screen. The blue post button hovered under my thumb. I explained to your 80K followers how you nearly committed federal fraud over a kitchen island with marble countertops. Silence. Her lip twitched. She looked like she wanted to scream. But she didn't. She just grabbed her bag off the couch. This isn't over, she muttered. You're right, I said. It's finally starting. She walked out without another word. I closed the door behind her. Locked it. Then walked outside to my front yard, where a new brass nameplate had just been installed on the mailbox. My name. Alone. No cosigner. No ghost signatures. Just mine. And when I got back inside, my phone buzzed with a new email. From the same realtor as before. Subject line. Final mortgage notice. Status frozen due to borrower conflict. I smiled. Then opened the camera app and took a photo of the mailbox. No caption. No tags. Just a quiet reminder. I made this life. And no one's borrowing it ever again. It's been 3 weeks. No calls. No texts. Not even a passive-aggressive comment from Mom on my Facebook posts. Silence. Which, honestly? It's been incredible. I come home now and there's no anxiety waiting behind the front door. No second-guessing whether I'll be ambushed with a favor, a demand, or another guilt-tripped monologue about what family means. I don't even check my phone as often. It's peaceful. Which is ironic, because for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm finally heard. Turns out, when you set boundaries so hard they echo, people do eventually get the message. Emily's social media went dark for a few days after that visit. Then she reappeared with a selfie and a vague caption. Growth season. Flex biceps sparkles new chapter loading. I didn't comment. Though someone did tag me under it with a popcorn emoji. I laughed, then blocked the thread. I'm not in the business of feeding drama anymore. As for the house she was trying to buy, I heard through Joe, of course, that the deal fell through completely. The realtor dropped her. The mortgage company launched an internal investigation. She's currently living in a short-term rental with half her stuff in storage and a lot fewer followers than she had last month. Funny how that works. And my parents? They haven't apologized. Not directly. But the other day, a card came in the mail. No return address. Inside was a blank note, with just 5 words scribbled in familiar handwriting. We didn't handle that right. No signature. No request. Just those words. I didn't respond. I just tucked the card into the junk drawer next to the extra screws and spare batteries. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe not. But here's what I do know. This house? It's mine. Not just on paper, in spirit. Every inch of it was built on the years I spent grinding, sacrificing, swallowing every insult about real jobs and blue-collar life. Every tool in my garage has a scar. Every corner of this place holds a lesson. I didn't need a party to make it real. And I definitely didn't need their approval. This life wasn't gifted to me. It was earned. And now, every time I step outside and see my name on that mailbox, not shared, not borrowed, not photoshopped into a post for fake likes, I smile. Because they missed the housewarming. But I didn't. I showed up. And that was more than enough.